What's up, everybody? Oh! That was 2 casts in a row. I didn't have time to turn the camera on for the first one, but I just turned it on for the second one, and I farmed it. All right, 2 in a row right here. First one was a big smallmouth. Second one was a big smallmouth. That is the Kitech Cherry Cola. I started out deeper this morning in 20 feet out in the middle of the flat, like in the channel. I didn't see much of a picture at all. And so it just turned 7:30 and I'm like, all right, well, let me try in a little shallow around this weed edge, and boom, boom, 2 casts, 2 bites. Both on the swim bait, which makes me happy. I wish I would have paid attention a little more on that second one, but such is life. Water temp slid back down. I've seen it anywhere between 50.2 and it's now 51.5 where I am right at the moment. Light east wind, very pleasant out here. High 50s for air temp when I left the dock this morning about 6:40. It'll be nice too. Remember, Sunday we turn the clocks back, so I'll have an extra hour out here in the morning, which will be nice. 45 minutes to an hour to come out, find them, and catch them. Can be challenging sometimes, really challenging. Yeah, like I said, I started out throwing a blade out deep, and then I switched over to a hair jig. I didn't have much of a picture, though. Not much of a picture at all. So I moved. I'm not really looking in here in 15 foot of water necessarily on my screen for fish. I'm just in an area where I want to fish. There he is. Oh! He was right there. That was a walleye. That was a walleye. Well, look at me. I'm on fire. I finally woke up like the Yankees. Hey, we got one more game. We bought ourselves another game. It was nice to see the boys hit the ball and field. Boy, I thought our fielding was excellent last night. It was nice to see them play like they've been playing all year. Win, lose, or whatever in this series, at least last night showed a little fight. I hope tonight does as well, and we take it back to Los Angeles and see what happens. I thought it was interesting with Volpe last night and how well he did, and of course the big grand slam, but just how well he played and how I felt like he gave his team a real spark emotionally, and so look at some of the similarities. All right, Derek Jeter, though from Michigan, grew up a Yankees fan, a diehard Yankees fan. Played shortstop. His name had 5 letters in it. Fast forward, I don't know, 20 years now, and you got a kid that grew up in the Metro New York area, who his whole family is just rabid Yankees fans, and he's now playing for the team, and he just hit a grand slam, stole a couple bases in a World Series game. Like, I can only imagine, I can't imagine it's one thing to be proud of your kid. And we're all proud of our children in some respect or another. But imagine, I guess the closest, well, for me, that would be like the Yankees or the like if my child suddenly played, for SU football or basketball or something like that. Like I've been a fan of that my whole entire life. Take it. Oh, I thought there was another one right there messing. The swim bait bites, sometimes you'll feel them go like that. Now, sometimes they've come up behind it and just inhaled it already, and are just swimming along, and you don't realize it. This finesse swim bait bite that I do in the fall is not necessarily that crack, that big, they hit it on the move kind of thing. A lot of times it's, and I show this every year, but I'll show it again. So this bait's swimming along, and they come up behind it and take the whole thing right, just like that, like it's a little Scooby snack, and they just keep swimming because they don't realize what's going on. They don't know it's a lure. It's just down there swimming along, and it's minding its own business. But it's almost, I think the trigger with these little swim baits. Yes, it looks like a minnow. It looks like a small fish, and big fish eat small fish. Sure. But I think it's more like it just swims right by him. And I don't know where they are out there, but it swims right by him. And I think that those bigger fish go, shouldn't you be scared of me? Shouldn't you shoo and flee away? And so they just go over and go, well, if you're going to be cavalier about this, then I'm going to eat you. And like I say, with that being said, a lot of activity out here. All of a sudden, it got daylight, and there's like 10 boats coming my way. The first 40 minutes out here, I was all alone. Oh, big shout out to Dakota Lithium, my friends and partners and sponsors of Walleye Fest at Dakota Lithium. I had one of my trolling motor batteries. I don't know what happened to it, go bad. I got a hold of Dakota, and I got it last night, so it was less than a week. I got a hold of them, told them what was going on. They got me another one out right away. Bear with me. Let's go back upwind slightly. I want to go back. I want to go back up real quick where I hit those two fish back to back. I'm going to go just beyond them a little bit. Oh my, you guys got to see this. What a perfect shot. Oh my, look at that. It's like somebody stuck a candle in the top of the island. Look at how beautiful that is. Wow. Wow. I was thinking on my way out here this morning, and hyperbole but I think I would come out here every morning even if there were no fish in this lake. Even on the days where you don't do anything, for me that peace, that feeling of tranquility, that I just love being out here and seeing everything and absorbing it. And this time of year, it's an added bonus. I'm an old duck hunter, and I used to do it a lot, duck and geese, and I guided for it years ago, and I love the duck and goose hunt. This time of year when I'm fishing, I see all those migrating birds coming into town, and I see them when they start to flock up, and you can see the way the seasons change out here, and at the beginning of the season, like in March or April, I watch the sun come up like over Big Bay, and then all summer long and all winter and all late fall and winter, you see that sunrise go east all the way down the North Shore and goes across the South Shore, or goes across the East Shore and then back down the south. It's really amazing. And again, these are things that you would never see if you weren't out here. Mornings are special to me. I don't know why. I didn't grow up a morning person necessarily. I didn't, quite the opposite. It hasn't been until later in my life, even during my early guiding years, and that's an early morning thing. You meet clients all the time, every day in the dark. A lot of times you're in your spot in the dark. Darkness is a fisherman's friend in some respects. It lets you, it just lets you get out here where there's nobody else bothering you, and stuff's not alive yet. The world hasn't woke up yet for its day. Every morning this time of year driving out, because it's right around 7 when I'm driving out, I see the school buses on Muskrat Bay Road, and you can see them over in the North Shore, and you hear the world come to life every morning out here, because when I get out here, it's quiet. The only sound is of nature, the wind, the water, the birds, and I love it. I love it, and sunset is beautiful, but I just am a sunrise guy. I'm a sunrise guy because there it is. Yeah. Now, okay, I called that one, and not because, another big smallie, and not anything to do with being cocky or for the camera. I felt them tick, and then I see my rod tip start to load up, and then that rod tip loads up. Boy, I could fight these big giants all day long. What a slammer. Man, and look at how they torque these rods. This is a 7'1" mag medium light. Like it's got some buttocks behind it. And he's just got it pinned. He's not ready to give up yet. Oh, yeah, baby! Look at the tubby wubby. Look at that thing. Oh, who's got the fat belly? Who's got the fat belly? He flung my head off. Brian Hammond, B-Hammer tackle. This is one of his jig heads, and man, do they keep them buttoned up. I'm going to weigh this one super quick because it's a fatty patty, let me tell you. Huh. 3 pounds. Not nearly as fat as I thought. Oh, what a fish though. Look at how fat. "19 inches. Look at how big he is from top to bottom. Oh, what a fish. Yeah. That was perfect. Absolutely picture perfect. I'm reeling along and you feel that rod go tick, and it starts to go like this. And that rod tip starts to load up, and so I reel into it a couple turns, and then drive that fish and drive that hook home. All right, I got to re-rig because he threw it off on me. So real quick, we'll do this on air. So I measure my head. What does that mean? I like to get an idea of where my hook point is going to come out. So when I thread it, I don't go too deep. And Kitex have a little groove. You see that groove right in the top? That's to keep it straight. And it really is very important that you keep it straight on the shank of the jig head, because if not, it tracks off to the side and it doesn't look right, and they don't eat it. I don't know how else to say it. So we come down in. Come through. And now you just screw it on to the head. All right, let's see if we can do that again. It's fun when they bite. Now I'm counting this down fairly deep. I'm in 15 foot of water, so my count goes down to about 1,010. And then I just start a slow, steady retrieve. It's nothing fancy. In all honesty, it's one of the simplest techniques you can do. Because it's really just chuck and reel. There are nuances to it, you know, and if you're getting bit on the bottom, then you got to let it get to the bottom. If you do the countdown method like I do and you search your way through the water column, you know, I'll do my first cast would be, you know, I'll count down to 4. In the second cast, I'll count down to 8. And in the third cast, I'll count down to 10 or 12. And I'll just fish through the water column like that. Boy, there definitely seems to be a pile of fish right there. I'm going to go one more cast if I don't get bit, and I'm going right back up there to that same spot. Boy, those smallies were big. Wow. Well, you can tell it's that time of year, boy, and everything out here starts putting the feed bag on. You know, you could run into a wolf pack of walleyes and have a limit in 5 casts nowadays. You know, you just never know. You got to find them. You got to find the food source. And they're not shy. Feels like that breeze is starting to freshen up a little bit. And it looks like it's switching around out of the northeast. Although I don't expect that to stay because it's supposed to be beautiful today and tomorrow. High 70s. I'll back up real quick. I got about 5 minutes. All right, you can see that little hump right there, and you can see my track was just up on it, so I drifted over it once, and then I came back up and drifted over it again, and it's not much difference. It's about a foot difference, and I don't see any rocks or anything on that little hump, but something's holding them because both fish came right off it. Alright, we got the last couple minutes of our morning together. Make sure I get lined up here. All right, let's get ready to rumble. You know, another thing too that's it's certainly on my mind. I don't know about everybody else, but as of today, we're inside a week till the election, and end of next week I've got to go. I say I've got to go. I get to go guide out on Oak Orchard, out on the western tributaries for brown trout. I do my annual trip with my buddy Todd. I help him guide, and we have 4 customers that we've been guiding for years and years, and so I look forward to that trip every year. But this year it's going to be a little different. I said to my buddy the other night, I said, yeah, well, we'll be out there Wednesday morning. I go, if there's a world left, I mean, if we didn't start a civil war because of Tuesday night, and Courtney and I talked about it last night, and the truth is I worry. I mean, listen, I'm a worrier to begin with. That's just my nature. But I just worry about what's going to happen with this election and where we're going as a country, and what it's going to mean to, all of us. And I just want to live a happy, peaceful life. I don't want to hate and spew, insults at people and whatnot. I just don't want to do that. I never cared about a president my whole life, to be honest with you. I never thought they really mattered, whatever. I mean, I know that's not true, but I don't know. I just want to feel safe. I want my children to have the thought of prosperity and the American dream, financially, socially. I don't want us to. Listen, our freedom of speech protects our right to say we hate this country, but you see all these people that say they hate us, but they sure like being here. And if you hate something that bad, you should leave. And I don't say that to be funny. I say that because I got no time for that. In business, I'm not in the no business. You know, I don't listen to, oh, you can't do that or whatever. I don't listen to that. I'm not in that business, and I'm not in the business of hating people. I just want America back. I just want to feel like we are united and that we're all pulling the same direction, and that we actually see our country as a thing, a living, breathing thing that we nurture and we love and we support, and that it does those things back to us. And also, too, you know, in the words of the great Ronald Reagan, I've said this before, we need less government, not more government. We need less government control. We need not to worry about that stuff. Ah, look at these two. Took me a second to realize who it was.
You don't mind if I cast right behind you, do you?
No, not at all. Say hello.
Hello.
Eric, Scott, what's going on, boys?
How are you today?
Good. I'm with smallies this morning.
Oh, really? That's what you like to find, right?
I know, but right back up here, I have seen two different schools of perch that are just 8-10 feet thick. So I can't imagine they're too far. Oh yeah. There has been in the last 20 minutes. All right. Yeah. I'll talk to you about it later. But yeah, all right at best. Yeah, big time. All right, guys. See ya.
Beautiful rise this morning, huh?
I got it on video. It came right up over the center of the island where my angle was. It looked like somebody put a cherry on top of the island. It was beautiful. See ya. Eric Wiz and Scott Dakota just came up in Scott's boat. Scott just got that boat, and I all of a sudden I see this Parker come zipping up at me, and I'm like, and I never know who's going to come up and say hello, but then I see those two out in the front like this. It's funny. It's kind of, I mean, there are times out here, you know, you get to know people, and especially they fish the same area as you, and I've made a lot of friends, and it's kind of like showing up to the diner in the morning with all your friends, you know. You're drifting by people, you see them running by, and you're waving, and it's nice to get to know people, you know, out that share the same passions that you do. So that was a good break from politics. I don't want to talk politics specifically. I don't care who you vote for. That's your business, not mine. I don't tell you who I vote for. That's my business, not yours. I just hope that we really, truly feel that whoever we do cast our vote for is going to be the best for all of us, and not just the best for a small group or a minority, or I say a minority, not a minority, but a minority group, you know. I'm ever eternally optimistic about everything in life. And I hope that my optimism is rewarded here next week, and that we kind of get back to a time of logic and common sense. I'm not going to say truth because trying to get a politician to tell you the truth, I mean, it must be like poisonous venom in their mouth that they don't want to do it. So I'm not going to say that, but I would like to see logic and common sense come back into our collective thought, and I'd like to see the government get off the news and get out of our life. Take care of things, work behind the scenes. Don't spend $100 trillion that you don't have, because our government doesn't make its own money. It's our money that gets repurposed at their request. So, all right, this is my last cast. It's 8:07. I got to get moving. I don't want to, because a little bit of success and all of a sudden I want to go sit right here all day and catch smallmouth. Feel bottom. You can take a weed now and then. I'm outside the weed line, but there are some random stalks out here that you'll feel along the way. And a lot of times, boy, you make contact with that and you keep going, or you pull it through, and there was something sitting behind that stalk waiting to come grab it. All right, that's my morning. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. I wish you all the best. Be the humper today, not the humpy. Have a great day. Keep your tip up.